Is there something unique that you're doing to get them on the phone?
I got to say, as I've only been in the industry officially for 90 days, I'm just starting my 4th month. So, and all just with, now this isn't just all with your leads, but so far in total premium, I've written in the first 90 days about 185,000 face value of IULs. Dude. I don't know any better. I don't know.
Well, I'm just going to say that's normal then from now on. Okay.
Right.
What is up? Welcome back to the CA Power Player Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins. Today is about IUL and our Caboom IUL leads. We're about to bring in a gentleman who is freaking rocking it, like having crazy success, booking over half of them into appointments, finding a ton of money. Like they have a lot more money than they're even leading on in the form, which is amazing. Like if you have interest in learning IUL, working IUL, learning some tips and tricks of the trade, and even trying out our Caboom leads for IUL, then I've got the perfect gentleman for you. Please welcome Scott Macdonald. How are you, sir?
Good, man. How are you doing, Cody?
I am good, man. We call him Scotty Mac.
Scotty Mac, that's right.
Scotty Mac, dude. So, how did you hear about? I want to get in your story a little bit before I want to give him some good value really quick. How did you hear about Caboom and me?
So it's kind of funny, and I'm going to answer this the long way. I've been a business owner for the last 18 years, and about 2 years ago, I sold my business, thought I was going to retire, realized that golf was not going to be a sport that I could live off of, paying my bills. So I decided, I love finance. I love all of that. And I just started experiencing or looking around, and this whole life insurance thing I really liked the idea of it. Mm-hmm. And so me being kind of a techie nerd, I started getting through on YouTube and looking at a couple people, and you just kept popping up all the time. And then I think it was, you were with Ryan, I think one day or something like that. And whatever. And I'm like, all right, so if Ryan's here with him, I'm going to just go check him out. And so I think it was with one of your YouTube things or whatever, you threw the Caboom thing. And I was like, all right, first of all, I like the whole marketing, I don't know if that was a week-long effort or if that was just something that you came up getting out of the shower. I don't know, but I love it.
Thank you.
So anyway, I checked it out, and I just like how you're approaching this industry as an outsider who is now inside. I really, I thought, okay, this looks good. So I started doing the research on it, and I've gotten IUL leads with it. So just within my background, IUL and advanced markets is really where I'm focusing and where I have been focusing. And so as I started looking at this, I got to be honest, I was like, okay, they're very, very reasonably priced. Okay. And so
it's funny. I think you actually said, I'm surprised you haven't raised the price on these yet. Yeah.
Well, and I want to be careful because I don't want my next order to be double and say, look, we're just following, what you guys are saying. But I started looking at this, and I was like, man, okay, something's not adding up here. Mm-hmm. So I reached out. Jonah reaches back to me via text, like instant.
That's awesome.
And I got to tell you, first of all, just the fact that there are real people communicating, calling, as a prior business owner, that's a big deal.
Thank you.
That's a really big deal. So, I'm like, you know what? Okay, let's give it a shot. Let's go ahead and get 20 of these things. And so when I started looking at, here's everything you get with it. We're going to send them your picture. Upload a picture. And I'm like, well, I don't want to scare him away. I got to talk to him. So I forget what happened there. I don't even know if I gave one of my cat or whatever I did, the name, all of this, you give what they're spending monthly or what they could spend monthly, all of this information. And I'm like, this is a cutting edge thing. You guys are literally using you're eating your own dog food. You're using your own product to get out there and to resell to us. So there you go.
There
you
is.
go.
You're gonna put it in front of me. There. That is the picture that the leads are seeing. Yes, that's
There we
awesome.
go. Okay. Well, so yeah. So at least I got my wife in there, which is
That's
going to
awesome.
at least
That's
get
smart.
people to pick up. So I got to tell you, as these things started coming in live, I'm picking up the phone. I would get the text. I'm picking up the phone, and almost everyone's responding right away.
It's cool.
And it's like it's kind of at first it's kind of catching me off guard because I'm just waiting for the voicemail, and then I'll call back again and wait for the voicemail. My experience has just been incredible with it, and the conversation is, yeah, this is Scott. Listen, you should have just got a text with my name and picture. I'm just calling to check in, find out what it is you're looking for and how I can be of assistance. And there we go. Just right into it. And there have been a few people that said, yeah, I can't talk now. I'm at work, so obviously they were on social media at work, whatever. But there's been people, I got to tell you, this is the one thing I've learned too, is that I made the mistake of, I don't like to work the weekends. And there was a weekend that my wife and I were doing something here just 2 weeks ago. I think we were flying out of town or something. That's it. We were going back up to Maine. We summer up in Maine, and I was taking my son to a Red Sox game where the Cubs were playing, and we got destroyed. And anyway, so I do this on a Friday morning thinking, okay, it's going to take them a couple days to get this thing set up and rolling, and the leads should start trickling in, 1 to 3 a day by Monday or Tuesday. Nope.
Sure.
By Sunday afternoon, I had all 20 live, just bam. They were just coming in fast. And so that's where I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to hire an appointment center because I don't even have the time to sit and to do all of this and to call these folks.
Awesome.
So it's pretty sweet. In fact, to that point, I think what we are going to be doing is I'm going to be also acquiring your software that you guys are using and implementing it into my agency. Awesome. And having some folks, actually, that's how we're going to start harvesting this stuff too, because it's just whatever you're doing is working.
Thank you, man. That means a lot. That's cool because you know what? I mean, I wish every order went as good as yours. And, I'm not going to say it does because it doesn't, right? But we have had a lot of positive feedback about IUL, term, final expense. We have like 14 different leads. But at the end of the day, we are trying to constantly innovate. Like here's one thing we just added that you may not be aware of. So we do the picture, we have the text that goes to the prospect, we have your name, 6 times on the lead form, and then we also have it in the text. We just added it again, and I added another line at the bottom of the text now for any new orders as of yesterday, Monday, May 6th, at time of recording. Yesterday, that was Monday. The text is, skip the line, call Scott now. And now we've also got a clickable phone number in the text as well. So we have it on the end of the form, call Scott now. Then we have it in the text, call Scott now. And so we want ideas, man. We want to keep improving this. And I'm grateful that you've been able to reach people. Is there something unique that you're doing to get them on the phone?
I got to say, as I've only been in the industry officially for 90 days, I'm just starting my 4th month. So, just with, now this isn't just all with your leads, but so far in total premium, I've written in the first 90 days about 185,000 face value of IULs. Dude. I don't know any better. I don't know.
Well, I'm just going to say that's normal then from now on. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what Lisa tells me is that,
She's like, it's not
your little substandard, you gotta, yeah. But
dude, congrats, man. You should be proud of that. I'm serious.
Well, so I am, and I work with a lot of great people. I mean, the organization is a great organization.
Oh my gosh, Lisa Brown, the Miller Agency, Ryan Miller, Natasha.
100%.
You have a bunch of absolute amazing Abra. Like you have a bunch of amazing people a part of that organization. Love all of them.
Yep, absolutely.
And the bigger organization for those that are listening is Symmetry. I got a bunch of friends there. Scott's there, right? And I hang out with a bunch of the top people there, really, Ryan Miller and Edward Pritchett, and I've been going to Nate's SWAT event. Like I'm a big fan of who you're with and what you're doing.
Yeah, no, and so that's also reassuring for me too, knowing that I made the right, because I just did the research, but I had every IMO and their mother trying to, offer
I'm
me
sure.
stuff and find out.
Well, if once we release this and they all hear you wrote 185 grand in 4 months,
3 months, technically.
3 months. Yeah.
February, March, April. That was when.
Unfortunately, you're going to get more of those. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and say Scott's happy. He's doing amazing. If you want to be on his team,
That's right.
then reach out to him. Okay.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. But, so I've got a lot of agents that I work with that are they're being very supportive. And a lot, when you get into the advanced markets, there are things that for the last 30 years that I've learned in finance that you just can't learn from a sales script.
Yeah.
And so we have, I'm
awesome.
kind of a subject matter expert within the organization. And so a lot of people are bringing me into some of those things as well. So I wouldn't say there's anything unique that I'm doing outside of, I'm just making the phone calls to them. I'm connecting with them. But the other thing, again, I think that might be unique is I'm not looking at a monthly premium or I'm not looking at a death benefit. I'm actually asking the questions that they were thinking or somewhere were inside of the back of their mind when they went on social media and said, yes, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for tax-free retirement. I'm looking for, something that does not go down with the market or whatever the case is. And I think just by forgetting the product for a moment and being able to dig in and understand what it is they're afraid of, why they clicked on this, that's when we're able to uncover a whole lot more. So I would say from a uniqueness, it's not what I'm saying on the phone at first, but it's those follow-ups. I
want to jump into that too, because we really, for on the ad, like for those that are new to IUL or you just are new to Caboom Leads, we put that you can create a guaranteed monthly income stream with a tax-free retirement account, and you need to talk to a retirement advisor to see what you qualify for, right? And so that's where Scott comes in. So you're calling, texting, emailing, like before we get into like this, like some of what you say on the phone, is it just that they were just answering on a first call? Were you double dialing, triple dialing? What does that look like?
Normally, when I call right away, they're picking up.
Okay, good. That's super important for like how quick, like a minute, 2, 3, 4, like
as soon as I get it, it's and the way that I've got with you guys, like I can't not find out. It hits my email, it hits my text. Google starts sending me a message of the Google Sheets. Once we work out a couple things within Symmetry, we'll be able to get that integrated into our high level thing and all that other stuff. But so it's as soon as I get it, I'm on the phone.
That's awesome.
With them.
Because you're getting a text that says, hey, you have a new IUL lead.
Yes. Yeah. So I get, and here it is. It just lists right across. This is the name, date of birth. This is what their favorite hobby is. This is how much they have. This is what they're worried about. This is, all this other stuff. Just good information. And it's funny because a lot of times it will go to voicemail, but if they're on one of the new iPhone releases, have the ability now that you can pick up mid voicemail. And so that's happened actually 4 or 5 times when I'm leaving a voicemail and someone is picking up and answering the phone, during that time. So sometimes, like, I'm so quick, they're still on YouTube watching something and I'm calling, after they've done that. And so they're going to hit decline or whatever. So normally I'll call 2 times. Cool. I don't want to harass them. I'll call them and then it will go to a text.
Got it. And what's the text say?
Just say, hey, listen, my name is Scott Macdonald. You should have received my name and my picture, just so you know this is legit. And I have your favorite hobby as X, and then fill in the blank of whatever, depending on what they said. I would say I'd like to talk to you about your tax-free retirement worries, concerns, or that kind of thing. But I kind of throw a little of an emotional hook there just to get them to respond back.
Yeah, because as far as the IUL leads, I'm actually looking on the site just because there's a ton of questions. I think there's 14 total fields. That's helped too. I think just the amount of fields, but like you're getting, as I'm looking at it, you're getting like how soon are you planning to retire? What would be a comfortable monthly contribution towards your retirement? What is your primary financial goal? Favorite hobby, and then a preferred contact number. If we can't reach you, we can't help you. And so we're getting the 2 phone numbers too. What's been the most common answers on some of those custom questions?
So most of what I see, I would say 90% is they are looking for tax-free retirement options.
Cool. That is an option. Yeah.
That's almost everyone. And I think just what's going on with the economy and where people are pretty much thinking taxes are going to go up and, inflation is going up and, I got a 5% raise and things are going up 12, 18%. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's in the back of their mind as they're doing that. So I get that part a lot. And you'll find people, I would say about 50% will say I've got about 100 to 300.
Yeah.
I've had maybe 15% say I've got 800 and above. I had one guy, and it's funny because what they'll do is they'll just put down, because they still don't know who you are. You're a Facebook ad to them, right?
Correct.
So they'll put in 100 to 300, and then as I'm talking to the guy, I said, now you list here that you have 100 to 300. I said, give me an idea of what you really think that you have. $2,500. He said, let's go with 2,500 and write me up something with that. I want to see how that compares. So, that's the thing. Once you kind of get that trust level,
yeah,
and it's not about, well, you say 100 to 300, let me give you 2 quotes. And once they realize that you are an expert at retirement, that you do have the ability to navigate through the IRS code 7702 and 101A and 72E and TAMRA and DEFRA and all of those other things that will help them. And then you can compare this to your normal type of qualified retirement accounts, IRAs, 401ks, whatever the case is. And you compare those and you show them, look, I'm just going to show you the options out there. Once they see that, it's like, I don't want to say it's simple, but I think that's what people might be missing, is they're looking for that sale versus the education. People will find the money. People will have. I even had a lady that I'm waiting to write up this weekend. She's a school teacher, and she had, she's in Michigan. She had this a 529 403B in Florida. She had a 401k in Michigan and then another small pension. And we looked at things, and she wanted to retire in about 7 years. And I said her name, and I said, if you need this, there is now, we have a quandary. I said, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I would rather you know this now than when you're 70. And she was 55 or 56. And I said, it's going to take you an extra $1,000 or $800 a month, actually, to get to where you need to pull out X amount a year to live. You're either going to do that now, get a part-time job at the grocery store or whatever, 2 nights a week now, when you have your best health of your life left, or you're going to have to do this when you're 70 because you have no choice. And so I'm just trying to show you. She started tearing up, but she's like, you know what? You're right. You're right. And I'm glad that you pulled that up.
You are good at this. I'm serious. Like, here's what I'm hearing. Okay, I've heard a couple like key nuggets for those that haven't picked up on this. There's several. One, they trust you, and you're building trust, but also you're building trust by being honest and direct and not trying to it doesn't feel like you're just trying to sell them, because most people are like, okay, how fast can I write up a $200-300 a month IUL?
Right.
People can tell that, they can feel that 100%. I think your experience of years, decades in sales and business, I think it's helping a lot because you're just building rapport. Also, I like that you're not taking what they put on the form as complete face value, because, if someone ask me like, hey, how much do you make per year personally, and I don't know this person, I'm probably not going to answer it honestly. You know what I mean? And so you're actually still asking the questions. Man, so many freaking golden nuggets in that. So that brings me to the one question of, once you get them on the phone and you're getting hold of a lot of them, which is cool, what is the opening line? What is the goal? What are you saying? Talk me through the first call once they pick up.
Yeah. So, just kind of, I find normally it depends on the state that they're in or whatever. I find something relatable to like the other day when I called someone to set up the appointment. They had a dog. You could hear him yapping in the background. And so when I set the appointment, the Zoom appointment, I put in his name, her name, and the dog's name. And I said appointment, and just something simple like that.
That's so
But
smart.
you find common ground there. And then it's like, look, thank you for seeing me or spending the time, whatever. I would like to understand a little more about your situation. What made you click that form to have my information sent to you? Talk to me. What's going on? Like I'm not doing it's like when I would tell my sales reps all the time. I've been in sales management for 30 years. And I would say, imagine walking into a restaurant and the waiter or waitress had the menu. And instead of giving it to the menu and say, what are you in the mood for? They just say, you know what? You look like you want the chicken with veggies. And I guess I'll bring the chopsteak to you unless you guys tell me different. Instead of, so they just read off or whatever, or here's the specials. And, instead of saying, hey, I love when someone says, what's good here? Well, what are you in the mood for? What do you like? Right? And they kind of tailor it to, it's the same concept here. Is the last thing they want me to do is start opening up a brochure. Let me tell you the 20 things that's good about XYZ carrier and all this other stuff. Forget that part. And I think that's one of the things that Symmetry does very well as they train, especially in advanced markets, is they've never brought up, like Jeff Sigworth, we were talking the other day, he went through this entire thing about 45, 50 minutes and not one time ever brought up the word IUL, annuity, anything. Just talk to me. Where are you worried? What's going on right now? What has you, like, why are we talking? And I think that allows, it's a very, I don't know. I'm not even sure if I know how to describe it because, you know how you don't like to listen to yourself on the other line because you don't like hear yourself record. It's kind of the same thing. I don't even know if it's exactly what I'm saying or whatever, but it seems to be getting good feedback.
Yeah, it seems to be getting really good feedback. Also, too, is the goal when you're getting to like, hey, let me fact find a little bit and then let's book a follow-up appointment. Like so many people are trying to like one call close IULs for like $100 to $200 a month. And I think that retention is going to suck. I think the chargebacks are going to be higher. I think agents the clients are not really going to understand what they're buying. Like, I think I like the way that you're doing. Is that fair? Is that what you do?
So yes, and I want to say this with all due respect to all of the agents that I work with and other agents out there. I think we are doing as an industry a disservice to clients by selling IULs incorrectly.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this, that 90+% of these things are, if you are going for an instant issue IUL, you're doing it wrong by them. And I'll be honest, like when you take a look at the contract and it shows you here is the premium amount that I'm going to get a commission check on, I could very easily take that IUL and turn the dial up on the insurance side so that it's more insurance than it is.
And you get paid more. Yeah. I
would get paid a whole lot more. But the thing is, I don't know, man. It's against who I am. And I feel like I'm going to make it up in volume and in relationship. And that's what's happening. People are finding out and they're calling me and, hey, can you do that with me? And that kind of thing. I've had agents who have said, I just signed this IUL, or I didn't know. And we just went through this IUL. So now we got to wait a year or something, or, and it's too bad, but I don't close. You can't close on the first, because what are you closing? You don't even know what they got.
Love that.
So the first time I talk to them is setting up the time to talk.
Yeah.
Then we have 30 minutes or so. and it's a fact-finding mission. And I get all of the questions, and I start to pull out the emotion, the pain, all of those things. That third call, and then on the second call, I try to set up and say, okay, we're going to come back and I'm going to show you numbers. Your job
you're
is
closing
now,
on the third call.
I'm trying to, at least I'm trial closing and saying that I'm going to come back with something.
That's great.
And listen, the last thing I'm trying to do is force you into something, but tell me about the kind of person that you are. If you see something that you know with all the facts that you know this is a good deal, like how long does it take for you to make this decision? Are we talking weeks? Are we talking days? Because, and then you start throwing in the insurance thing. Not only do we need to qualify financially, we need to qualify health-wise and all this. So it does take some time as well. So give me an idea.
Yeah.
And once they do that, they're pretty much asking me, okay, when can I move forward on the third call? Or that's if it goes right? Not all of them do. Not all of them do. Then you got the guys even that say, yeah, let me think about it, even though, we've already, but listen, the last thing you want to do is play used car salesman with these guys that've got $2,500 a month and want to think about it. They should think about it. Yeah. That's why they have the money to invest, is because they're thinking about it. So that's the way I do it anyway, Cody.
That's strong. That's strong. And it speaks to your values and just who you are too, which is cool. We have these, I think it's like 13 different things. We keep innovating and improving. But I'm curious. I want to go through each of these really quick, and I would love for you to share, that's great, or I think it's good, on whether this is like helping, you think. Okay. And I'm going to kind of run through these. We call these like the Caboom difference. The first was TCPA compliance, where we're using TCPA language and putting the agent's name in there. I think being compliant's important. I'm sure you would agree.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
FCC one-to-one consent, where we build a new funnel for every single agent, and we don't share leads from one funnel, so that we can tell the prospect, hey, you are going to work with Scott Macdonald.
That's huge. And I got to tell you, man, that not only are you guys going to get better customers there, but you're going to get better agents.
Cool.
By that. Yeah. I've only been here, like I said, this is month 4. But as a business person, you're doing it the right way. And is it slower? Yes. Is it more expensive? Probably. But you're going to get better agents renewing that.
That's good. Yeah, because it does take a second to build. 2 phone numbers, where we get the preferred and the contact number and the secondary number.
Yeah, I think that's good, because I have called a few times on one, not been able to get a hold, and then called the other one and have been able to connect.
Cool. That's great. That's helpful. If you can't get hold of the lead, it's like not much I can do.
Right.
So we want to help that. Texting the prospect with your name twice.
That's big, because when I reach out to them, it's no surprise who I am. They know who I am.
Good.
It's not like I'm someone calling out of the blue because they filled out a form thinking it was their mortgage, and now I'm trying to. None of that. Like this is legit. They know, okay, this guy's going to call me because I went and clicked on this.
Yeah, I think lack of trust is a bigger reason that people don't work with agents than they think too. And so we're trying to do anything we can to raise that. You clearly do a really good job of that when you're on the phone, which is great too. Agent's picture. Did you ever heard that?
No. Now, granted, again, I'm still a little bit of a newbie, but with
sure.
I have not heard of that before.
Cool. Yeah. Thoughts on the picture. Yeah. Thanks,
yeah,
buddy.
I think it's awesome.
Mentioning the agent's name a total of 8 times between the form and the text. Form, thank you, confirmation page, and text.
It's funny. I don't know if I knew it was 8 times. I knew it was a few, but obviously that's why they're, I think, answering. And they know who I am when I'm like, if I'm gonna hit unsubscribe if you say his name one more time. No, I think it is it. No one has never known who I was when I called. That I've picked up on anyway.
Yeah, I think it's big. So we've been seeing a 10 to 20% inbound call rate on our final expense, which has been cool with the couple of inbound features. Did you have anyone call you? Do you remember?
Twice.
Okay, good. Cool.
And unfortunately, I didn't pick up.
That's okay. That's all right. Well, but agents don't always know any better. So yeah. We're trying to increase
I thought
that.
it was someone trying to sell me something, Cody. So I just decided not to answer. And
I don't blame you. I silence unknown callers. I've had a few people try to call me while I've been on the phone. while we've been on this. 13 to 14 fields. So like at IUL, we have 14 total fields, more of like a higher intent, long form survey type of lead.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on
They're
that?
good. I mean, it's now, if you're asking me what would I include?
Sure, please.
I don't know if you're asking that or not, but you can edit this out anyway. So
no, go for it.
I think one of the things that I ask people, which would be very helpful to get them really kind of separating you guys even from someone else, because anyone can ask, how much do you have to spend?
Sure. Correct.
Is how much do you feel you need at retirement every year? What do you feel? Because that is going to then really, number one, get them thinking.
Yeah.
And number two, set up the groundwork for the agent to do the right thing and take the conversation the right way.
That's good. Do you think that's better than the budget amount? Like
I think you do both. I think you do both. And here's now, if there's a way, the statistics of what's working, what's not. But here's why. Because some people don't understand or correlate. $300 gets me $100,000 a year in retirement.
Yeah.
They don't get that. So, some people are still I am amazed at the number of people who even have financial advisors who are just throwing some money into a 401k and have no idea of what the gap is of retirement. They have no idea. And I think this gets them thinking, and it brings maybe a little bit of credibility to it. Like, wait a minute, I just put 100 to 300, but I want 100,000. Because that's the conversation I'm having with them. I said, okay, now you tell me which one you want me to do. Do you want me to tell you what $100 to $300 does? Or do you want me to show you how to live off of 100,000 a year? Because I'm not a magician.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot more. Yeah, that's really smart. Right. I'm gonna mention that to the team, Dylan, after this, because I love that idea a lot. Seriously, anything we can do to improve this. So thank you.
Yep.
Texting the agent immediately. You mentioned speed to leads important. You're calling within 60 seconds if you can.
Yeah,
I think that's such a key point that agents don't do. Following up quick is vital. Once you have an appointment setter, that'll help even more because you know it's their job. Inbound click to call. That's the new feature on the text where we add your phone number on the initial text. I think that will also help with them remembering maybe remembering your number when you call a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah. I'm interested to see how that plays out. I like the idea.
Cool. Thanks, buddy. Good. Transparent ad copy. We're not saying it's like a lot of people are like, you can create, generational wealth with life insurance and like anybody can get $100,000 a month in retirement. And, what I mean? It's like the stuff can be a little bit deceiving. Right. So, yeah. Next, we're working on something where we actually email the prospect for you as well with like your picture and phone number and stuff. I'm working on that. I'm working on testing some templates. What do you think if we could figure that part out too?
Yeah, that would be good, I think, because you do have some people, especially as they're, you've got a couple of different age brackets within the IUL space. And what I'm finding is the majority, I'm not finding many people under 38 so far that have come through with yours. The majority is 38 to about 60.
Okay.
58.
I'd love that to be about, I would love that to be about 38 to 54, 55.
Yeah. So, and I haven't looked really, really hard, but I think those are kind of the spread. But with that age gap, you've got you've got people who are 38, 40, 41, 42. They live off the text thing. They don't even, or they'll pull the email up here. You've got some other people at 50, 55, and especially when we're talking Zoom calls and things like that, where we're going to be sharing different software and numbers or whatnot. I think the email is going to be very big, especially to people my age and older, 50, we used to, that kind of thing. So I think getting it both ways, I think would be great.
Cool. Because I do agree. Definitely the older, the more they still check email and like email in general. Yeah. I think it's good. That's good to hear. And then the last, I don't know if you'd use this, but that's where you're wanting to use this in the future. We don't have to touch on this again, but CRM integration, right? Once we can integrate into your GHL with an API key, obviously we want to be able to do that, and you do too, which is cool. So we don't charge extra for that. Some vendors do. We used to, but I'm like, why don't we just include that? Because we wanted them to have success. And hey, if they can get in their CRM and have some automations and stuff, and it doesn't hurt. So
right.
Any final words on two agents that are thinking about selling IUL and using our IUL leads at kaboomleads.com?
So first of all, I would say that the overall quality, and in fact, let's define the word value. Value is when you've got the quality versus the price, right? Somewhere in there. And I think the overall value, I don't know who can touch it. And that's where I was afraid, Cody, to be honest. When I saw the price, I'm like, okay, what are we going to get? Are we going to get like here, $37? It's a free for all. We're going to throw a name out there, and it's going to be a bunch of piranhas in the water, going after the same thing. And I'm telling you, it's legit. Now, I know you can't control whoever's clicking that thing or whatever. You kind of just filter it and you send it on. But to the agents that are wondering, I would say, first of all, you're going to get quality with it. Okay. You are absolutely going to get quality. And I would say the other thing is take advantage of the timing of that this stuff comes in. Take advantage of it and go right away. Because what I have found, I know you're big on preaching about this too. I have found that when you call right away, it is like a 70, 80% more than it is even the next day.
Hey, man. Such an important piece. Yes.
Yep.
So if they're on the fence at trying our IUL with Caboom, you seem to like it and recommend it. That's good.
Call me. If you have any questions, you call me.
So if they want to get in touch with you and just keep learning, or maybe they need a home or something at some point, like how can they get a hold of you? Where should they go? What should they do?
So my agency is Macdonald Financial Solutions. I picked the longest names I possibly could. So my email is scott@macdonaldfinancialsolutions.com. And that's my website as well. I also have an up and coming YouTube channel. I've got 2 videos on it now, so I got a long way to go before I can, reach the big dog. But and I think that's part of the important part is please call me, contact me, email me, whatever, because I'd love to. To me, this isn't just a solo mission, right? I mean, we're getting commission, whatever, but this is we help others with this. The industry only gets better as we do that. So
amen. Well, dude, I appreciate you you sharing your experience. Thanks for all your support, and I appreciate you being on the channel.
Okay, man.
Okay,
appreciate it. Have a good day.
Okay. Also, thank you guys for hanging out and listening to the Power Player podcast and being a part of our channel. I'm going to add something, a gift. Here's what I want you to do. You want to go try our IUL leads. Use coupon code. Here's what I'm going to do. Use coupon code IUL. Now, Dylan, that coupon code is not active, so I got to go activate it with Brett. Coupon code IUL to get 10% off of your very first lead order. And Scott can go ahead and use that for his next lead order, so why not? You guys are amazing. Hopefully, you'll be willing to try our new IUL lead system at kaboomleads.com. My initials, CA, with a boom on the end. I said boom a lot, Scott. That's how we came up with the name. I say boom a lot.
Beautiful.
So we're like Kaboom spelled differently. We have a little fun with it. Kaboom. Every time an order goes through, the whole office is yelling Kaboom, which is pretty fun. And so you can go to kaboomleads.com to give it a chance. Either way, we appreciate you hanging with us. I love what Scott's doing. And I'm excited about what we're doing with Caboom. So thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Adios. Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there. I'm so excited for today's CA Power Player podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins. We got a special guest. He is back on the channel talking about how to sell life insurance from home. Here's what I love about this person. Okay, I'm telling you, this will be one of the best.